So I don't know. The banks are collapsing.
We're having another crisis here. We've had the regulators have not been regulating. Warren G would be very disappointed. That's for sure. And Nate Dogg, God rest his soul, he would be absolutely devastated to know that the bank regulation has not gone well.
Well, actually, no, they are regulating, and that's the problem. They're not going to let these fucking banks fail. And so that's what's going to give us 2008 too. Are you guys ready? Millennials, are you ready for 2008 again?
Well, it's about to be 2024, so it's going to be 2008-3, the trilogy.
Wow. Nice math.
See, I went to college. All right, let's see what...
Did you take economics?
Let's see what the most popular president in all of American history has to say about this economic crisis.
That's correct. Most votes ever in
All
history.
customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured. I want to rest assured they'll be protected.
Boy, he's looking decrepit.
And they'll have it.
He's looking decrepit. Even for me, I gotta say, I only voted for him because, it was the better of two alternatives, but he's not looking good.
He looks like an Oni NG cartoon. Like, disgusting.
All right, let's keep it
Access to their
rolling.
money as of today. That includes small businesses across the country that bank there and need to make payroll, pay their bills, and stay open for business. No losses will be, and this is an important point, no losses will be borne by the taxpayer.
Yes, exactly.
Let me
Joe
repeat that.
Bogdan.
No loss.
That's good.
Let me repeat that. No losses will be borne by the taxpayers.
Cap.
Instead, the money will come from the fees that banks pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund. The management of these banks will be fired. If the bank is
good.
taken over by FDIC, the people running the bank should not work there anymore. Third, investors in the banks will not be protected. They knowingly took a risk, and when the risk didn't pay off, investors lose their money. That's how capitalism works.
That is how capitalism works, by exploiting people.
Yeah. This whole I think there was Silicon Valley Bank and then like Silvergate Bank and then one other bank this morning have all failed. But this is definitely echoing what happened in 2008 for sure. Hopefully not, because it's funny because I saw a meme that was like millennials, joking about how they lived through a once in a lifetime banking failure and then it just happens again like 15 years later. But I don't know. I don't know if we're quite there yet. I mean, he's kind of paying lip service to, what you'd like to hear. I mean, I think ultimately in 2008 when all this Occupy Wall Street stuff was going on, which I don't know, that was a bunch of hippie cucks, but
Hey, I was actually there, okay? In 2011, I was there. I had a bandana on. I took a picture. I may or may not have done black block. We'll see.
you were about to say I may or may not have done blackface. Black block.
By the way, shameless plug, check out the Eminem podcast with Greg Maurer if you want to know more about the 2008 crash. Okay, go.
Facts. Big facts.
True.
There you go.
An actual loan professional that's been in there for 40 years. So, yeah.
Here you go.
Listen up. I don't care what no experts got to say. I know that, basically, if they actually just don't bail out these banks this time, that's kind of what needs to happen. And I'm pretty sure I saw something about one of the guys that was involved, like at the top end of, what's it called? Silicon Valley Bank was one of the guys that was involved with Lehman Brothers during the 2008 crash, which I think Lehman Brothers was the first one to go. And then it started this whole kind of domino effect where, because the whole thing, the entire American banking system is just built on a house of cards, as we all know. But that is okay because Joe Biden says it's going to be fine.
Well, you know that he just said that the American taxpayer isn't going to have to deal with it. It's going to be the banks. The banks would never put more fees on the average consumer and the average user of their banks to pay for their own overhead costs. They would never do that.
Right.
So Joe Biden said that we're not getting taxed. We're not getting taxed. We're not getting charged. So we should be fine. These big corporations, these capitalist industries need to go down. They need to suffer for what they've done.
Well, no, that's actually based. What'd you say, liberal? No, they do need to go down. That's the whole thing. You don't sound very liberal at all.
Are you guys agreeing?
God, what you think?
No.
What you think?
No, well, they need to go down. That would be capitalism. They get to make their profits, and then if they fuck up, they have to deal with all the losses, and that's what it is. And it's funny because, I know this guy, Christian who works for DoorDash like a fucking loser, in his little gig economy, driving around in his little Japanese car. And DoorDash is one of the companies that was highly, they had a lot of their money in Silicon Valley Bank. And so does Coinbase, and so does like a bunch of companies. It's funny, it's bad when I woke up this morning and got like 20 different emails from Coinbase, Gemini, every single, like when I was into crypto for 2.5 seconds, I just got on all these mailing lists, and then it's like Bitcoin is up like 10% today because they're all.
Is it not affiliated with them?
Well, it is
with the bank. With the bank.
Coinbase is.
Right.
But Bitcoin,
Bitcoin
Bitcoin's probably our only way out of this shit, to be honest.
That would be
probably
hilarious.
went up because it's a anti-fiat
Exactly.
system.
That's
so
the whole, that's the whole thing.
when things like this happen that point towards economic collapse of the fiat money system, then things like Bitcoin, which is probably the universally agreed upon best one just by design.
Yeah.
It goes up.
But are you saying Coinbase had holdings in SVB?
I believe so, yeah.
Like as a company? That's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious, actually.
Yeah, just them as a company, right.
All right. They're like, ooh, we love Bitcoin so much. Let's put half of our finances into
In a
an
bank.
actual bank.
Yeah, dude, it's
crazy.
It's pretty bad. Let me skip over to the next one. So we got from NBC here. That Borg's hitting me, doggy. Okay, from NBC, we got Biden says the banking system is safe after Silicon Valley Bank shut down. President Joe Biden said Monday that people should rest assured after his administration acted to ease uncertainties about the banking system in the wake of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank last week, the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. The president spoke about the actions taken by his administration to give the country confidence that the banking system is safe. Quote, thanks to the quick action of my administration over the past few days, Americans have... Hey, Jack. Listen, I'm being serious. You know what? Buy some Bitcoin. It's okay. One day, the government's going to have our own Bitcoin. That's really what this is all about, by the way. If you guys don't know, is that they're trying to be like, oh, we can't trust these banks anymore. Now you got to, but don't get Bitcoin. Don't get something that's decentralized. You got to invest in the, what's it called? Basically the government's going to launch its own cryptocurrency, which it's already kind of doing. All of the different like benefits programs and welfare things, I would count on in the next 10 years. I'm just guessing, but like I would count on in the next 10 years, all those things are going to switch to like a digital currency. Oh, you want food stamps? You got to use our government crypto now. But the difference between, an actual cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is that, Bitcoin's totally decentralized. It has like a finite, value. It has a cap. Whereas a government cryptocurrency is basically just the same as fiat currency, where they can just make more and print more. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And even if Joe Biden says, don't worry, I'm not going to tax you anymore.
But you're not even considering or acknowledging the effect of cryptocurrency on the environment. That's the problem with you.
That's true. I do have 40 NVIDIA cards running in the closet right now.
That ain't shit.
Yeah, that ain't shit. Right. That's nothing for a crypto miner. No, that's true. There's some environmental impact. Unlike dollar bills, which have no environmental impact except for all of like the wars. And then, what was I about to say before this liberal interrupted me? God damn it. Whatever. I'm sure it was based. Biden explained that he instructed his team to protect U.S. workers and small businesses and detailed their actions to protect customers' deposits and not put taxpayer dollars at risk, to hold those responsible accountable, and not to protect investors in the bank. So, like, that's what I was gonna say. Is even if on the surface they're not gonna tax you anymore, they're not gonna charge you taxes to bail out these banks. Effectively, we are being taxed by, as whenever the Fed prints more money or fucks with the interest rates, that's in effect a tax, even though it's not called one, but it is.
If it's going to infect inflation by a huge amount, which
it will.
It is. It's like, sure, maybe you're not paying here's a cost tax, but if the cost of eggs and rent and gas and everything you need to survive in our culture is increasing, then you are losing money essentially.
Good point, Chip. Back to you, Chip. Well, yeah, no, exactly. If the value of your money goes down like 10%, then that's basically just a 10% tax on everything.
Might as well be.
Yeah. The president said the management of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, a second institution that was included in the plan, would be fired. Good, I guess, right? Like, if the bank is taken over by FDIC, the people that are running the bank should not work there anymore. Biden called for a full accounting of what led to the shutdown of Silicon Valley Bank and why those who are responsible can be held accountable. In my administration, no one is above the law. And finally, I must reduce the risk of this happening again, which who knows what that means, how that's going to happen.
It's pretty tough, man. It's not going to be a good time for anybody. We have money to give to Ukraine, and it's we have to keep giving money to them. So this is a problem because, this is going to affect Americans because we have to keep giving the money to Ukraine.
Right.
It's necessary. It's imperative. We have to do it. We have to stop pooping.
Huh?
Stop pooping. Vladimir Poopin.
Talking about that retention.
I thought you were talking I thought you were cool for a second. I thought you knew about the fecal retention. You said stop pooping, and I was like, I got excited, but once again, you disappoint me. Okay, well, so that's that.
Thanks, man.
What do you guys think? I mean, I'm broke as shit, so it doesn't really affect me. Actually, I think that's actually the silver lining of this. The broker you are right now, the more it doesn't matter. I may have slick back hair and a nice $8 Goodwill blazer on right now, but I'm actually broke as shit. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good way of explaining it too, if you want to bring it back up. If you're not a economic genius like us, this is a good way of understanding. When someone asks me to explain the bank collapse in layman's term, and this is the rules of Monopoly. What if the bank runs out of money? Some players think the bank is bankrupt if it runs out of money. The bank never goes bankrupt. To continue playing, use slips of paper to keep track of each player's banking transactions until the bank has enough paper money to operate again. The banker may also issue new money on slips of ordinary paper.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
That about it, yeah. And
It means it can print and print and print forever, and it'll never be a problem. That's what that means. You could just keep printing more money. Money is infinite. That's true.
Fuck yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's an idea.
So why do we have taxes when they can just print more money?
Because they need your money to give to Ukraine.
We
just went over this. It's imperative.
It's a bit of a J.G. Wentworth situation. It's their money and they need it now.
877 cash now.
Right. Fair enough.
Give me that board.
What do we got next?
We got a little. Okay, yeah. Before we switch off this topic, I've got the very based. I don't know if he passed away. I think he's still alive actually. But the author of The Creature from Jekyll Island, G. Edward Griffin. If you've never heard of him, look this guy up because he's spitting the facts. He wrote this book about the history of the Federal Reserve and he's got some good information to say about it. This is like an hour-long podcast, but I just found this little minute of it, and he kind of breaks it down how our Federal Reserve System works, which, if you don't know, they're controlling your life, and they're not a government organization. It's the same as FedEx. It makes it sound like it's federal, just because it has the word federal in it, but it's actually not the government at all.
In our case, the epicenter was the realization that the Federal Reserve System is a cartel and not an agency of the federal government. That single fact alone is, when you think about it, is so shocking to most people, or it should be, because we've been raised to think that it's the government and they're looking after us, and to think that it's no different than an oil cartel or a banana cartel that simply happens to be a banking cartel, and that we've given them the monopoly to create the money of the United States, and that they can create it out of nothing and charge interest on nothing. And all of these pieces start falling into place when you realize that this is not in the best interest of the American people, was never designed to be from the get-go, and it's been a means of legalized plunder of the American people. That fact all stems from the realization that the Federal Reserve is a cartel and not a government agency.
Wow. Man's breaking it down real good. I need to actually read that book because it's been recommended like a bunch just from other YouTubers. And
Yeah, he
podcasts and
doesn't
stuff.
seem like a very fun guy to play Monopoly with. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably not. He might
this-
flip the whole board on you, dude.
This guy's never read Karl Marx and it shows. Old boomer.
Karl Marx was a boomer.
Hey, that's
Can we get
trademark.
some more?
I know,
more
leave the
Borg
fucking
over
board on
here,
the table
fellas?
here. Come on.
All right.
We're not gonna spill. Just
Some
don't spill.
Dr.
Everybody
Zoodborg.
just don't fucking spill. How about
All right.
that?
I think the only one that's spilled so far has been the liberal.
Hey guys, if you're in the chat still, drop a Z.
Drop a Z in the chat.
Hopefully you're not.
We're trying out
hopefully
here,
you're not Zing off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jaying
Jesus.
off.